Good morning, class. My name is Leroy Bradley, and I will be giving you a speech on the nonverbal communication with animals, preferably personal pets. Do you ever consider the home training of pets equal to the training of a service animal? Are they both considered equal? How do pets learn from sounds, voice tones, and body movements, and indirect body movements of other actions from their owners? I'm the owner of 4 dogs, and they basically, based on my movement, they know when I'm going outside, when I'm coming home, just about anything that I'm doing that revolves around them. So today I'll be explaining to you a couple examples of personal pets and using the movements of indirect movements. There are 5 main distinguishing tones used for dog training. This was brought to me by Liz Budhart of the DVM. She's a vet. She's been a veterinarian for 15 years, and she practiced dog medicine. Okay. When tones of your voice change, your dog will understand tones as cheerful, high volume, and pitch. So, for instance, when I get home, I tell my dog, my little dog will meet me at the door, and I'll say, "Do we want a snack?" And then she'll come up to me, and then once the pitch lowers, she'll walk back and go to the door and wait for me to give her a snack. Disappointing tones sound as high volume, low pitch. These tones they're used to gather attention and usually come with a frown, expressing for approval. For instance, if I leave my cigarettes or my cup of coffee outside on the table, my pit bull, boxer bull, she has a long tail. So I'll say something immediately to get her away from the table because she likes to play with the other dogs and her tail is long, so she'll knock everything over. Number 2, soft and reassuring tones, which are low volume and high pitch, promotes soothing tones, which express affection and bonding with an animal. Number 3, firm tones, low volume and low pitch are used to get the attention or when you're making corrections. For instance, with my animals, if I'm doing something in the yard and I need them to get away from the lawn or anything like that before I start it up, they want to play, so I'll give them a command and then they'll back off and go back to the porch. Number 4, cautious tones are high volume with low pitch used during a dangerous situation. This will get your dog's attention immediately. Now, I really don't have any dangers in my yard or anything like that, but if I need to get their direct attention, this is how I would communicate with them. When you speak to your dog, it sounds like gibberish. They don't really understand what you're talking about. But one thing that's important to remember is that when it's not what you say, but how you say it to your animal. When I put on my jacket or pants after making a cup of coffee, or my pets understand that, or they realize that I'm going outside. When I give my house dog a snack, which is my little Chihuahua, I keep her indoors because she's like 5 pounds. So I'll give her a snack, but when I give her a snack, if she drops it on the floor, then I know she's telling me she wants to go outside. Okay. Number 3, when I arrive home from school or work, my dogs that I keep outside in my backyard, they immediately run around to the back door because I usually give them a snack or go out there to greet them or feed them or give them extra water. Number 4, when I sit in my backyard, my outside dogs will move my right arm, which is, they move this arm, because I'm usually positioned, I usually have coffee in my left hand, and they'll nudge my arm, and that they're telling me that to rub her or to pat her, and all of them do that now, as a matter of fact, or they want me to rub them on their back. Most people are aware of the roles of service animals, but they get it mixed up. It becomes confusing when you have a pet for emotional reasons rather than for handicap reasons. And this is a recently more developed category for animals. It's called the ESA, which is the emotional support. And that becomes confusing because that's not a service dog, and so it depends on what your medical condition is. It will get you out of paying fees for going to events, or like if you had to fly on an aircraft or something like that. Okay, these animals provide companionship and emotional support for people with psychological orders only. That's what the emotional dog does. Specific documentation from a human health professional is needed to have an emotional support animal. An emotional support animal may live with the handler and accompany the owner on an aircraft without an animal fee compared to a companion pet, which you bring them on the carrier, but you still have to pay for bringing the animal because it's not a service animal. Animals provide a number of services to people who have specific roles to handle and need proper training. So when you have a service dog, or even if you have an emotional dog, you have to make sure the dog is properly trained. Normally, you don't want kids petting a service animal because that'll just throw the whole point of having that dog. It'll just throw everything off. Okay. Some people misrepresent their pets as assistant pets to bring them to places which they're not allowed. It is very important for a veterinarian to assist a client very carefully upon identifying the role of a pet and to provide the advice and the consistency that's going to adhere to the dog's role. So for instance, whatever your condition is, you want that animal to be trained for that specific condition. And then my closing statement, before I do my closing statement, I'll show you a brief video on when animals communicate with their owners.
For Animal League,
always bringing some
and
friends.
they need homes, by the way.
They do. They need homes. Make sure you understand level East type. Yeah.
So vocally, what are they telling you then? Between barking, whines, whimpers,
Alert
growls?
is the first one, right? Whining is I am anxious as well. You know, I want to play. They can express that to yourself. You know, whimpering sometimes is a way of manipulating people because sometimes they have received cookies in the past when they went. So be careful with that.
And what about the flat out barking?
Well, you have to understand if they're barking because somebody's outside or they're barking because they're frustrated. For the most part, it's frustration.
Okay, so that's when they do something vocally. But what about body language? Like right now, I think maybe he's a little itchy.
Yeah.
That's why he's doing that.
Well, jump to conclusions.
But see, right now, the body language is I am aware of what's happening, but calm. Because she can be in the state of mind, the same position, but a little bit more intense.
Right.
So I'm ready to go that way.
Okay.
So some people might think ear position and eyes, and that you'd be able to tell something from your dog. But what about the fur? What can you tell from the fur?
What the fur can tell you two things. I'm afraid, cuddles, or I'm ready to battle. Right?
Now those actions that Caesar was describing, my dogs do just about all of them. My little one, and she's not necessarily trying to tell me she wants to go outside, but anything she's trying to tell me. And so what I do is I offer her a snack, or I'll tell her to show me what you're talking about, and then she'll get off the couch and direct me to go wherever she wants. She tells me if her pads are messed up. Now my older dogs, lots of times when they're out in the yard, they do bark at night, which means somebody's coming, or it could be a cat, a possum, or even a raccoon or something like that. But normally, when they're out there, they tell me if something's going on. And also with the issue when he was explaining about the fur, when they're playing or when they're aggressive towards, if they see something in the yard, the hair on the back of their neck, it will stand stiff. So that's how I know if it's a threat to them or they're just making noise. Okay, in my closing statements, personal pets make owners' daily activities more successful to complete because of mental and physical connections related to the bonding of an animal. So when you have a pet, it's very important that you understand what your pet is talking about, a way they're trying to communicate with you, and you want to teach them something, you have to be patient and take the time and don't rush anything when it comes to animals, because some animals learn quicker than other animals. And after that, do anyone have any questions? Okay, thank you. This concludes my speech.